Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Welcome to the program. I'm Josh Brumm, your host here, and available at Spotify, also as well at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and put down in the comment section your questions or your thoughts so you can be a part of our ongoing conversation about what it's going to take to create a world that is beyond emissions. I'm also energy storage manager here at Soligent. Looking forward to working with you and your companies and creating an emissions-free future for our kids and grandkids. And that is our mission here. It never gets lost on me that, yes, we're in business, but at the end of the day, there's a foundational effect that we're having on the earth, on this planet, on our people that live here and the people that are going to be living here for years to come. We're actually making a difference every single day, one roof at a time, one home at a time, one business at a time, one renewable energy system at a time. Carbon you don't have to take out of the ground, burn once, cause a negative effect for our climate and our environment. And you only get the energy one time. With renewable energy, inverters, energy storage, and solar or other renewable energy sources, you have the capability of getting that energy produced day after day after day after day, not just one and done like with fossil fuels. We're not here to demonize fossil fuels, but we are looking forward to a future that is beyond emissions. And you're a big part of making that happen. Thanks so much for tuning in every single week. Beyond Emissions podcast. If you'd like to influence maybe some of our topics, we're here for you, listeners. We want to make sure we know that you're the installers out there talking to customers, making this happen every day. What do you want to learn more about? You know, what would you like to have us, talk about? What conversations would you like to hear right here at the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent? Get in touch with us in the comment section below. Click down below as well if you'd like to become a dealer here at Soligent and join us in creating this world that is beyond emissions. All right, so I open up every broadcast before we go to our guest. Awesome guest today, by the way, Jeff Vasek, the Senior Director of Technical Training. Come on, Josh, you're a professional. Technical Training and Customer Development at SolarEdge. SolarEdge available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below. Jeff Vasek is joining us today on the program. But before we chat with Jeff, I always ask you this question. Again, fill it out in the comment section below. Available at Spotify and also as well at the Soligent YouTube channel for Beyond Emissions podcast. The question is, what does a Beyond Emissions future mean to you? What does Beyond Emissions mean to you, listeners? What does it mean to you? And then, of course, we ask our guest. Welcome to the program, Jeff Vasek, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development for SolarEdge, again, available here at Soligent. Welcome to the program, Jeff. Thanks for coming on Beyond Emissions podcast. What does Beyond Emissions mean for you?
Good afternoon, Josh. Thanks for inviting me to the podcast. I appreciate it. Beyond Emissions to me has become kind of a rest of lifelong quest. I have a couple of children who are now, thankfully, both of them beyond college age, and they're starting to think about having families. And probably when they were, 10, 12 years of age, I started realizing that with all of the challenges that we were facing in the world globally today, one of the major ones was the fact that we were running out of things to dig up out of the ground and set on fire. And that, of course, then a few years later, we started having the effects that had been forecasted for global warming and climate change. They started to come true. And I began to realize that we needed to do something that was earth-shaking and revolutionary in order to prevent the continuation of global warming and to have a population or a planet that my children would be and their children would be able to thrive in. So that's what Beyond Emissions means to me. I don't want to say something grandiose like saving the planet, but it means doing whatever part we can to make sure that there's a planet left for our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren.
Jeff Vasek, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development at SolarEdge, here on the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent. Jeff, I agree with you 100%. Forgive me for the Whitney Houston moment. You know, I believe the children are the future. I can't sing. Forgive me. But the point is correct, whether it's Whitney Houston or Randa Watson from Coming to America. The children really are the future. It's not it's funny, you know, we laugh about it, but no, it's serious. The children really are right. You know, my kid's going to be 11 in June, and I look at it the same way, Jeff. It's the future. And are we going to bring about this total beyond emissions future tomorrow? Does it exist today? No. That's the dream. It's like, you know, the world we live in today where black children and white children play together. That was the dream of Martin Luther King. You know, that happens right now. Black kids and white kids play together and are friends together. And we haven't eliminated hate or racism in this world altogether, but we pretty much are living in the dream that Martin Luther King had. But we both know that dream was not a reality when he stated it there in front of the Lincoln Memorial, right? And so we're stating a dream beyond emissions, that we believe in a future where our kids and grandkids will breathe clean air, where there will be clean, abundant, renewable energy that doesn't harm the planet and gives us the resources we need and the energy we need, so we're not fighting around the planet, in a sense, giving us a form of world peace. You know, it's not the panacea, maybe, that it's not going to solve every problem, but when we're thinking about the kids and the future and that dream that we have, it doesn't exist today. But we can do something about it, and we're doing something about it here at Soligent, and you, for example, working for SolarEdge. What an amazing company at SolarEdge. You guys share those same values, right?
Yeah, and I think the point that you make is well taken, that when I joined the solar industry about 15 years ago, it was a niche industry, and it was for rich people, and it was mostly for people who cared strictly about saving the planet, because it was too expensive for the regular people. And we've made great strides, I think. And part of making great strides is having companies like SolarEdge that are able to bring technology forward that's going to help us push the boundaries of what you can do with the solar system. So I'm actually very pleased to work for the company, and am happy to proclaim that we have some of the most sophisticated solar system equipment in the world today, and that we have on the drawing board many different things. I can't really talk about them right now, but many different things that are going to make it even easier and even more affordable and effective for people to go solar and have the benefit of renewable energy.
That's it right there, expanding the benefits to more people, almost like when Ford created the Model T, so that every American could have transportation in their garage and not just a horse and buggy. The Model T made it affordable and created innovation so every American could participate. Sounds like that's what SolarEdge is kind of doing, right?
Sure. You know, the people in your audience are the ones who benefit from this, and the ones we have created an entire industry, the fastest growing industry in the United States, and adding employees to the solar industry on an ongoing basis. And with that, one of the things that comes is education, that we have to train an entire new population on how to sell and how to install solar, and how to take advantage of it. And then they need to be teaching their customers, who are all of our customers, the homeowners who are taking advantage of solar.
Right, right. If you're just going out, listeners, if you're a solar installer, which you most likely are as you're driving out to the job site right now, listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent, Jeff Vasek, SolarEdge North American Training, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development from SolarEdge, here with us today on the Beyond Emissions podcast. You're listening to this podcast as you've got some windshield time, you're driving out, or maybe you're working on the job site and you got your earbuds in and you're listening to the podcast. It's not just making the time fly. We're actually teaching things and learning things with experts from around the world here. And listeners, installers, dealers, if you're tuning in right now, we've got some nuggets of knowledge for you to increase your value with your customers by learning the value proposition, getting the proper training. Because if you're just taking, one system versus another, and you're saying X amount of kilowatt hours versus X amount of kilowatt hours, and you're just focusing on price or a couple of other propositions and not looking at the overall value and the knowledge you can gain to explain that value, then you're not helping as many people participate in this emissions-free future, number one. And number two, your business is maybe not being as successful as it could be. At the end of the day, increasing in knowledge and learning and education regarding the SolarEdge technologies available here at Soligent, and learning how to properly sell that value proposition to the customer for those who are listening, Jeff, that is going to make a huge difference, isn't it, in regards to the success of their business, not just in helping people to achieve energy independence and being a partaker of this emissions-free future, but also the success and the vitality and the economic future of their business. It really hedges on increasing knowledge and increasing value by learning more, right? Talk about, you're all about education. That's what you do at SolarEdge. Talk a little bit about the importance of self-education through these resources that you make available at SolarEdge for the prosperity of their business and their customers.
Sure. Anybody can take a very simple solar system and can slap it on a roof and put some equipment on the wall these days. But if you want to maximize what you can do for a customer and make sure that they're getting full value for the solar system that they're purchasing, you need to be able to go further. You need to be Michelle Spina, my colleague, who I think has been on your program, Josh. She talks about solar energy experts, and that's what we're doing today, is training the next generation of solar employees to be solar energy experts, where you don't talk about the savings that you're going to get. And of course, here in California, a lot of those savings are going away with the advent of NEM 3.0. I don't want to get into that discussion, but as a result of that, we need to find different ways for a solar system to have value for our customers. So the systems the different types of systems that you can build out of the SolarEdge equipment now gives you all kinds of different opportunities, depending upon whether it's a price-based decision or whether it's a comfort-based decision or whether it's a security and reliability-based decision. We have the equipment that can do all of that. And the first step in that is for this new generation, all of us, including some of us old dogs, to learn how to install systems more efficiently, more effectively, that will do more things for our customers. And that's the business that I'm in, is training all of the technical solar employees, whether they're installers or service technicians or monitoring agents, all of which are important in this ecosystem, teaching them how to do their job and how to do it better and how to use SolarEdge equipment in order to do that.
There's lots of different goals that different customers have. I love that you just said that. Jeff Vasek with us, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development with SolarEdge. By the way, folks, SolarEdge available here at Soligent. Click on the link below and take advantage of the value proposition that SolarEdge makes available, as well as the training. We'll get into some of those great training opportunities for you so you can improve your value and help more customers out there in the world. But I love that you said that, Jeff. Thanks so much for being here on the Beyond Emissions by Soligent podcast, Jeff. Jeff, you mentioned, every customer, in a sense, you just said this, every customer really has a different goal. Like what matters to each customer is different. And based on their goal or their why, I like to say, Simon Sinek, a book out there that I've read several times, the Start With Why. When you start with the why, you're starting with the purpose, or you're starting with the main goal, not the end result, but what's the main goal? What's really driving each customer? And every customer has a different why. And once you figure out what that why is, then you can look at the technology, right? And how to apply the technology to make that why happen. Or, what are your thoughts?
There's no doubt that customers buy things. What I like to say is they buy things for their reasons. They don't buy things for your reasons or my reasons. And they have there are many different paths to solar. And one of the things that we work on here at SolarEdge is that we recognize that there are all kinds of different employees. There are all kinds of different people who are in the solar industry in one aspect or another. And we have solar installers who have more years of experience in the solar industry than I do, all the way to brand new people who are joining the solar industry for the first time. So one of the things, Josh, that you and I talked about earlier was our learning portal, which we call Edge Academy. Edge Academy is aimed at teaching not only about SolarEdge equipment, but about the industry in general, and how to sell, how to install, how to maintain our equipment. And one of the things that we're doing now is, with the recognition that there are different people who are in different phases of their solar career, from brand new installers all the way to the grizzled veterans, is that we have different levels of training in Edge Academy for all of those different kinds of trainers. If you're brand new to the solar industry, great, we've got training for you. If you've been installing string inverters, great, and you're just moving into the SolarEdge optimized inverter area, great, we've got training for you. If you are experienced SolarEdge installer, great, we've got training for you that will help you move your job to the next level. So that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is that we're not just trying to push our equipment. We are trying to help everybody who's in the solar industry raise their game and be able to talk to customers and install equipment for customers that hits the goals that they have for going solar.
And not only that, personalization in training per where your experience may or may not be. You can really get on Edge Academy and get dialed in exactly where you're maybe having a deficit and you want to grow in your knowledge. It's really by subject. That's one of the great things is folks who are already experienced can go in there and say, I want to learn more about that, right?
Yep, that's absolutely true. And, not only do we have Edge Academy, but we have on YouTube, we have a North American Learning Lab library full of videos, because we realize that not only do different people learn differently, but they learn at different times and in different places. So if you're sitting in front of your laptop computer and need to know about our products, we've got the Edge Academy training for them. If they're out in the field and they just need to remember that one thing that they can't remember how to do, we've got Learning Lab videos for them. If they need to go through an entire checklist of, okay, let me make sure I did that right and that and that and that, and I don't quite remember how to do that, then we've got devices for them as well. So no matter where they are, no matter what amount of education and knowledge of solar they have, and what they're doing at that particular time, SolarEdge has training for them.
Jeff Vasek with us today from SolarEdge, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development. SolarEdge available, folks, right here at Soligent. Click on the link below, become a dealer. and take advantage of their learning center, including the Edge Academy, also as well at the SolarEdge YouTube channel. I love that, like almost learning pods, because so many times an installer, assuming that they've got some experience, they might just need to know, like if I'm fixing, I don't know, I'm fixing a sink at my house and I just want to know about how to do one thing. I want to go to YouTube and just type in, how to install the rubber washer or, O-ring or whatever it might be, right? Maybe it's that one little thing, that one little needle in the haystack I want to learn about. That's great how you break it down in bite-sized pieces on your YouTube channel like that. Talk a little bit more about that. I love how you're teaching people and giving people an opportunity to not have to dig into the whole haystack to find the needle. They can just go straight to the needle, right?
Right. A couple of the people who are on the training team now worked in our call center a couple of years ago, and they started noticing that people were calling in for the same issues, the same questions, time and time and time again. So they convinced the management at that time that they should put together these 1 to 2 minute videos that show how to do those things. And this has become now a standard part of the SolarEdge training offering, are these learning lab videos. And we get 100,000 hits or more on those YouTube videos every single year, because that's what people want to do. People don't wake up in the morning and say, gosh, I want to really dig into that training today. What they say is, I want to get my job done today so that I can come home to my family and that I can go out fishing on the weekends. And so they want to get on the job and off the job as fast as they can. And the way to do that is to say, what do you need to know? Oh, that's what you need to know. Here's how to do that. It's right here in the palm of your hand.
Jeff Vasek, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development from SolarEdge, available right here at Soligent. Click on the link below, folks, and find out more. I'm Josh Brumm, your host, also Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas. Thanks for listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent. So thankful that you're here today sharing your knowledge and experience with us, Jeff, and all this opportunity to learn. I had a former employer who taught me and our team what the 3 principles to success were, and I believe in it. Have a plan, always be looking for new opportunities, and never stop learning. And I've taken that to heart, that really, if you always endeavor to continually learn, you'll always increase in value to our customers. Kind of like what Einstein said, right, Jeff? Don't seek to be successful, but seek to be valuable. If you're investing in your learning and your education on an ongoing basis, you're going to be more valuable to your customers, and the success is going to happen in spades, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. One of our internal goals is continuous learning inside SolarEdge. And that's something that, especially in the solar industry, as quickly as things change, that you always have to be learning the new things. Otherwise, you'll be left behind, and competitors of yours will be the ones who are up to date, up to speed, know the fastest, quickest, easiest ways to install the best solar equipment that's available at the time, and they're the ones who are going to win. So if you want to win in this game, that's where you need to be. You need to be at the tip of the spear with the people who know how to install the products that you are selling.
You're right. Education is key. If you walk in and go see a doctor and he doesn't even have his college degree and all of his certifications up on the wall, and he just walks in with the doctor coat that you can go buy from the doctor coat store, and, God love him, he's there just doing his job, but, he's really just pumping a medication and not even having you go through the test, and you don't see he's got that value to be a true consultant for you and your health. Is that the doctor you want to see? No, 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 no. You're going to go down the road and you're going to find the doctor that has those certifications on the wall to show that they have invested in their knowledge. They know what they're talking about. And then they ask you the right questions and they diagnose you based on, the tests that they run, et and now when they recommend medication XYZ, for whatever it is your malady is, you know that you're going to be healed. You know that you're going to be treated. You know that you're going to have, a good outcome. And, you're exactly right. We have to become more educated so that we can become consultants, not salespeople. And I know it's counterintuitive in the sales world, when everyone's focused on my goals this month. I want to make this much in sales, money, 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 outcome, outcome, outcome. But really, if you just focus on learning more and educating yourself and becoming more valuable, you can become a resource and a consultant. And I've seen actually you get more sales in the long run that way, by gaining and earning the trust of your customers. Trust is everything, right?
True. Josh, I know one of the things that is that SolarEdge has become one of the leading provider of solar batteries now. And that's an exciting future, because if you look around, no matter where you live in the United States or Canada or Mexico, one of the things that's becoming more prevalent and more necessary are batteries. And SolarEdge is very pleased with the fact that we have become one of the leading battery manufacturers, as well as companies that sells them. And that's a whole new game for all of us. This is not something, if 10 years ago, if you wanted a battery for your solar system, it was a lead acid battery for car battery. But now we have very sophisticated batteries that can do many things, function many different ways, and everybody needs to be up to speed on batteries. And I mentioned before that we're providing training for the industry, not just training on SolarEdge. One of the trainings that is in Edge Academy is a training that meets the DOT and the OSHA guidelines for safely transporting and handling batteries. So this is another one of the ways that we as an industry need to grow up and need to learn more so that we can handle batteries safely for ourselves, for our families, and for our customers.
Oh, you nailed it. A majority of customers in this brave new battery world in the solar industry are focused primarily in the rearview mirror of things, which is, residential solar only, grid tie only. But batteries are more than just peace of mind for battery backup when the grid goes down. The functionality of batteries serves so many different purposes for different customers. Talk a little bit about that diversity.
Well, if I mentioned NEM 3.0 for our California customers and listeners, and that we are in about a month and a half, we're going to get to the point where for the most part, all of the NEM subsidies that our customers have been enjoying up until now are going to go away. And then we're going to focus, like in places like Florida, for instance, or sorry, not Florida, Hawaii. I was thinking palm trees. Hawaii has been in a self-consumption market for the last many years. And that's where we are now in California. And where California goes, other states will soon follow. And so when the subsidies go away, when the NEM credits go away, then we've got to find a way for solar to continue to be not only beneficial, but also affordable for our customers. So one of the things that SolarEdge is working on is a solution that maximizes self-consumption of electricity. And if you live in other states or you have other desires, then we have SolarEdge has battery functionality that will allow you to avoid peak pricing. It will allow you to import and export at night. It will allow you to store up electricity in the battery in case there is a storm coming. SolarEdge has a technology called Sense Connect that identifies if there's a storm or a potential blackout that's coming, and then manage your solar system in order to do that. What do you need for that? You need education. You need to learn how to commission your system, how to set it up so that it works under those different circumstances. Once again, going back to what you said, Josh, to meet the needs of a particular customer in a particular region.
Jeff Vasek, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development at SolarEdge, available right here at Soligent, your SolarEdge solutions. Click on the link below today. Jeff, I appreciate you so much being here for the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent. You too, listeners, thank you for joining us every week. Click on the link below to become a SolarEdge dealer today through Soligent. Join us in this renewable energy revolution. We're changing the world. One home, one business, one rooftop at a time, and now with energy storage. And Jeff, you're talking about a very important point here. For example, Rocky Mountain Power, SolarEdge is one of the approved batteries available for a functionality they're looking to offer their customers through some rebate programs, et cetera, to get energy storage in Utah, Idaho, Colorado, et cetera. Where they'll actually pay so much, to bring on SolarEdge as a part of the solar system, so that battery's available for the overall grid to be able to pull from. So exporting to the grid from your battery, not just excess PV array production. That's a game changer, and folks can learn more about that through the educational opportunities available at SolarEdge.com, right?
Sure, absolutely. I think it's just, I don't know if you use these words, Job, but this is a brave new world. There was a time when I, as a matter of fact, my grandfather was a wildcatter in the oil fields of Texas. And at that time, all we could think about was, like I said before, digging things up out of the ground and setting them on fire. And here we are, a generation away from that, and we are now figuring out how to create our own electricity at our own houses and then give it back to, I would say, the utilities or the community to use in cases where there are emergencies or in cases where we need to have more power on the grid in a way different than firing up a peaker plant. And this is a very exciting time in the solar industry, because we've gone beyond, let's put 25 panels on your roof and put an inverter on the side of the house, to let's manage electricity. Wow. Who would have believed that 20 years ago?
Nobody. It almost seems like magic. I mean, 20 years ago, if you, like you said, you started the program off, if you got batteries 20 years ago, it was because you had some, extra money that most people don't have. You had an economic advantage, and you were getting it most likely for an off-grid system. But wow, the common man and woman, the common family has the capability now, the common citizen, the capability of using solar energy storage, and now EV charging. Wow. My friend, my mentor, taught me what a kilowatt hour is. Brooke Hanner from Offline Solar Electric. He has an off-grid system at his house, and it's actually using a different inverter for his primary inverter. He's got his PV array, and he's got his battery bank. He bought a Tesla, Jeff, and the guy's a genius, and so he figured it out. But he took the SolarEdge EV charging system and engineered it so he uses his own PV array from his off-grid system to charge up his Tesla. EV charging, education on EV charging as a part of the overall system. I know one of the big value propositions for SolarEdge is you can do main panel upgrade avoidance. So, I mean, that saves thousands of dollars per job, not having to upgrade main panels, because you can have a SolarEdge hub inverter, 3 batteries, and an EV charger and an interface all on the same breaker. That's a huge advantage to save your customers and make you and your companies more competitive, folks, with SolarEdge available here at Soligent. But a part of that equation is an EV charger. EV charging, the grid's not really ready to handle all of this. And where folks can take advantage of the EV charging solutions available at SolarEdge through Soligent, click on the link below, folks. Find out more. Talk a little bit about that. There's education that needs to accompany this new opportunity, correct?
There's a lot of plug-and-play stuff that's available these days. There are EV chargers, including the one from SolarEdge, that you can actually plug into your home's grid right now. Just plug it into a 240 outlet. But more importantly, as you mentioned, that there are going to be different ways that EVs and EV chargers are going to be used in the future. And getting into that business now and being able to sell and install EV chargers now is going to be a big boon. I'm sure that most of the people who are listening to the podcast have recognized that EV charging is a thing of the future. And whether it's from the subsidies from the federal government or from local emissions, there's going to be more and more push to get gas-guzzling cars like mine off of the roads in the near future and to have EVs. What does that mean? It means there's more stress on the grid. It means we need more electricity. And what does that mean? It means that having a solar system with an EV charger, or having a solar system with one of those grid programs like you mentioned, are going to be more important than ever 5 years from now. So if you're looking to build your business, and if you're looking to be ahead of the curve and do something that your competitors aren't doing, the thing to do is to embrace the fact that batteries, EV chargers, that those are the things that we're going to need in the future, and start working on learning how to sell them and install them now.
And there's learning opportunities at SolarEdge's Learning Center and Edge Academy to learn more about EV charging solutions through SolarEdge, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Jeff Vasek, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development from SolarEdge, here with us today on the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below your questions if you want to find out more as well. Become a dealer for SolarEdge. Technologies available here at Soligent. Click on the link below. Become a Soligent dealer today. Jeff, it's just so transformative. It's like having a gas station in your house. Right? Isn't that amazing? Isn't it?
It absolutely is. And once again, if you think back 20 years ago, when solar was in its nascent days, nobody believed that it would be anything more than a fad, anything more than something that very rich people could install. And now we're to the point where there are solar systems all over every neighborhood. And this spawns an entire new industry of things like solar services and solar troubleshooting, and then the next big wave of solar innovation is. And I learned at an early age from my father, who was a school teacher, that if you're not learning, then you're dying. And we need to make sure that in our industry, especially where the innovations are going to come faster and faster and be more and more transformative, that we stay up to date with that. And a little bit of education goes a long way. That's something my dad used to say. Stephen Covey, years and years ago, wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and number 7 was, you need to sharpen the saw. And what that meant was take time for yourself, mentally, spiritually, physically, to improve yourself. And he was a big believer that you needed to constantly be learning. And that's why I got into this field, was because we need people who we need teachers and we need educators and we need trainers who can help in whatever form education comes in, who can develop that material and deliver that training. So one of the things that SolarEdge is now doing is we're offering live training classes across the country in conjunction with our distributors and such. So if you're interested in learning more, this is the place to come.
What would you say, Jeff Vasek with us today, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development at SolarEdge here on the Beyond Emissions by Soligent podcast. Jeff, what would you say is the number one area that you feel most of our listeners who are, say, installers or solar dealers, that they may be deficient and need improvement in that can help them be more valuable for their customers? What is the biggest vacuum that we have that we need to fill? Where's our shortcoming at in the business overall? Not picking on anyone personally or, one business or what have you, but just vaguely overall, generally overall, where are we most deficient, where we can improve the most, in your opinion, from an educational standpoint?
I think as solar systems get more sophisticated and more powerful, and able to do more different things. The places, I think there are probably a couple of them, the places where we need to grow and improve are in the area of electricians, and then in what some companies call commissioning agents, others call them different things, but in the programming of solar systems. It's a computer a revolution. It's a computer generation combined with solar. So I remember back in my early days hearing stories in the Northeast of homeowners who could not hire an electrician to do a remodel of their kitchen, for instance, because all of the electricians were being snapped up by the solar industry. And the same is even more true today, is that we need qualified electricians, and we need electricians who are trained in AC and DC and understand how to implement very complex systems like that. And then we need these commissioning agents, these computer whizzes, who understand how to program a computer, a sophisticated a solar system has become a sophisticated computer at this point, and how you program those computers to make sure, once again, that you give your customers the things that they need. So those, I think, are probably the primary two industries where we have deficits right now, and we need more of them, and we need more of them who are well trained.
Speak to the kids that are listening. There's folks that are listening of all age groups. I know most of our listeners are installers, but when my dad, who's now a master mechanic at John Deere, or actually he is a mentor to mechanics at John Deere now. He's such an amazing guy. I drove around with him in his work truck as he went and worked on tractors when I was a kid. And so I'd be listening to what he was listening to. So let's say that this is a Saturday and that someone's tuning in and they're driving to a job site and they have their son or daughter with them who might be accompanying them, on a day for whatever reason. And so we might have some young ears listening as well, along with the parents who are going to a job site right now or traveling and trying to learn more, in their travels. Just by osmosis being in the vehicle, these younger folks who are listening. And yes, I know you're there, kids. I know you're there because I was once with my dad driving around and listening to what he was listening to. So I know that you might be listening to this and your ears are perking up. For those kids, yes, college is vital for a lot of kids, but college isn't for everyone, and there are other avenues where you can grow and still increase your education and your value for your future as well. And I know there are so many great opportunities on the tech side, like electricians. We need engineers. We need people who maybe they don't fit into the I'm going to get a liberal arts degree or something like that. Yes, we need all of those people. And if that's your path is to go to college, we support that and we encourage that. But really, the solar industry is open to so many different types of people who maybe they don't go to college, but there's other training and other educational opportunities out there, right, to potentially increase their success in life?
Absolutely. I mentioned before that this is the fastest growing industry in the United States. And as a result of that, every single day, we need more solar professionals, whether they are electricians, whether they are solar panel installers, whether they are troubleshooters or service techs, and as we are talking now, the commissioning agents who deal with the very sophisticated programming of computers or of solar equipment, which I keep calling computers, that those are the next generation of jobs that we're going to have in our industry. And so these are not necessarily jobs that need a college education. I strongly believe in an education and in a college education, but you don't need it for some of these jobs. And I know for years that the solar industry has provided well-paying jobs for people who decide that they'd rather go down this path than spend 4 years and incur a lot of college loans and debts that way, and that they can make a living for the rest of their lives in the solar industry.
That's right. Circling back, children are the future. That's how we started the show, the Whitney Houston moment, right? Oh, how much fun. I can't believe it. I'm on a time crunch and we're at the end of the broadcast, Jeff. We've had a great conversation. Thank you for being here, folks. Beyond Emissions Podcast, our guest today, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development, Jeff Vasek from SolarEdge, available at Soligent. Click on the link below and get your SolarEdge solutions. Also as well at SolarEdge.com, their learning center, their Edge Academy, and the SolarEdge YouTube channel where you can learn more about anything you want to learn about in specificity right there. So appreciative of you being here today, Jeff. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing your knowledge and opportunities to learn. I love it, and increasing our value to our customers. I love working with SolarEdge every day, and so do our listeners. Thank you very much for joining us today, Jeff. If our listeners would like to reach out and learn more, how can they contact you?
My email address at work is jeff.vasek@solaredge.com. And I'm more than happy to see anything that anybody's got to offer.
Excellent. Jeff Vasek, Senior Director of Technical Training and Customer Development at SolarEdge, available right here at Soligent. Thanks for helping us learn more today, and we appreciate you, Jeff. God bless you. Hang on the line for our engineer, sir.
Sure.
Excellent. What a great program in the can. Right on. I'm Josh Brumm, Energy Storage Manager at Soligent, also host of the Beyond Emissions podcast, available at Spotify and right here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Click on the link below. Become a dealer. Get these SolarEdge solutions available for your customers today. Click on that link below. Thanks for joining us. The Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent, the largest pure-play solar distributor in the Americas.
We at Soligent are incredibly excited to announce our partnership with GivePower. Well, we wouldn't be here today talking to you about GivePower if it wasn't for our partners, LoanPal. They've been with GivePower since the beginning. Their contribution has given water and light to countless people across the globe. We are truly inspired by LoanPal's dedication to the cause. Something LoanPal said really strikes a chord regarding GivePower, that this is something that's more than money. It's what makes making money more worthwhile. In a lot of ways, that's synonymous with what we're doing here at Soligent.
Here's how you can help.
What we've decided to do is compound LoanPal's contribution by donating to GivePower on every order paid via our direct pay program through LoanPal. That's right. Every time your company uses your LoanPal portal to pay Soligent for material, 5 people get clean drinking water for a full year.
Together we're stronger.
Together, we can choose to be extraordinary by giving to people who live outside our reach. To us, this means a lot.
Soligent's purpose meets Give Power's mission. Join the impact. Soligent, Solar Engine. SolarEngineSolutions.com. Go there to find out more. CALSSA, CALSSA, stands for California Solar and Storage Association. Join over 700 companies, including Soligent, and become a CALSSA member today. Go to www.calssa.org/join and enter Soligent as the discount code and receive 10% off your first year. Membership starts as low as $500 per year and covers you and your entire company. You can pay in monthly installments or once per year. Why join CALSSA? For over 40 years, CALSSA has been fighting for your rights in California. If you're an installer or contractor in California, it's CALSSA working behind the scenes on your behalf to protect the solar and energy storage business you and your companies rely on each day. Imagine the utilities are totally unchecked without CALSSA fighting for you. CALSSA fights for your rights and also provides resources like direct one-on-one support from their experts to help you with your questions, navigating everything from NEM 3 to battery fire code compliance. CALSSA will help you and your company to stay up to date on the latest policy changes that impact the California solar and storage market and your bottom line. Joining CALSSA helps to fund their work to lobby for cutting solar and storage red tape, pass pro-solar laws, and to defend your business from attacks. Become a CALSSA member today at www.calssa.org/join and enter the discount code Soligent to receive 10% off your first year. CALSSA is fighting for you and your business. Join over 700 companies like Soligent and make a difference in the California solar and energy storage market today.